what's the mentality like in the band right now? Are you all feeling good? Are you all feeling happy?
Yeah, we're kind of really into it because we already released like 4 or 5 singles, but
Yeah.
we really want to be at the day when the album will be out because yeah, we are on it for like 2 years. It's a long journey, so we are excited. We want it to be out. We want everybody to hear it. We want the opinion of everybody on it. And we want to go on stage and defend this album. Yeah, we want to be at the release day.
Yeah. We're getting there. You're right. It's a long, long journey, but we are a mere few weeks away from the release of course, Get Better. It is out April 11th, 2025 via Mascot Records. A long and winding road to the release. So much work to be done. But when you look at the build and the slow release of singles and the content that you have to do to promote it, have you been enjoying the build overall? And what have been some of your favorite moments of this build period?
Oh, okay. It was, and it's still really intense because we don't really plan what music video we will shot, what's the topic, and how we will represent the song. We kind of do it in a urgent work. We always plan like a month before to do the music video and what we want to do in it. We try to be more organized, but we don't know how to do so. Maybe we're better like that. So yeah, it was kind of fun because we had a lot of ideas, and for the first time in our career, we had some money to do it. So it's so cool to it. Sorry for my English, but um, we have when you have more money, you can build something bigger. You can project your ideas much better. And so that is the cool part for the whole thing. And for me, every shot was different and had the good points and bad points. So I don't know if I have a better moment. Everything is cool because everything leads to the out moment, you see?
Yeah, yeah, I do. I understand what you're saying. It's interesting, isn't it? How, as much as we'd like it not to be the case, but money does stifle a certain level of creativity. You might have grand ideas, but ultimately, can you afford to put those ideas into practice? So it's really great that you had the opportunity to at least do something bigger and grander this time around.
Yeah, I mean, it's something really simple like just working with professional people that will get you a better image. Just that. It's not having fireworks or big cars. It's simply having some professionals. It's the
Yeah,
first thing. So it's so cool if you see the drummer music video.
yeah.
Um, we the money gave us this studio where we shot it, gave us time, um, and the rest was homemade. The costumes were homemade, um, but yeah, it gives you time and it gives you access to professional that have to be paid. It's normal. So yeah, money gives you that.
Absolutely. Of course, you're still a DIY band, but it's just nice to have those momentary opportunities just as well
Yeah.
to help show people a different side to the band and push that
Mm.
image out there and show you what
And
you
some
can.
And sometimes it's a bit strange when you're used to DIY everything.
Yeah.
It's sometimes it's strange to give away things, you see, because it's not always like you imagine it. When
Yep.
you tell something, you will do this for me, and it's not what the people do. It's not always
Mm.
what you have in mind. So it's funny. It's something interesting because uh, I I found it really interesting because it always gives something else and something more interesting. I feel it that way. When you give your image to someone else and you explain where you want to go, and always the person put his own touch into this, and
Yeah.
his touch is his vision of your music, and it's so great. It's so great to have other visions of our music and what we represent.
Were you I mean, how quickly did you get comfortable with doing that on this album? And what you wanted to do? And it's like, past you have an idea for a video or what it might be, the image of a particular song, and you want to create around it. How comfortable did you get with somebody else changing maybe what you first saw in your head?
For the first music video, Bright Soul, we worked for the first time with a different um, director, and we had something really simple in mind, like a really simple music video,
Yep.
white back, and so just us playing, and the director created this flower that came into the music video to uh, make that sparkle in the music video, and the result was so cool. I didn't expect that, like the format changing 4:3 to 69. You see the video format changing, and the grain. He had all his touch. It was so great. The final result was beyond what was in my mind. And
Mm.
for drummer, it was the same, because the directing is really telling something. And I'm not a director, so I don't have this in mind. I only have a set. I only have the story, but I don't have the directing. So
Yeah.
the directing is adding something else, and this is what was adding to those music videos. Yeah,
You're dealing with an expert, someone whose field of expertise is this specific thing. It's not yours, so why would
yeah,
you ever want to control that, right?
yeah, yeah. That's it. That's for the first album we did. It was like 50-50. We did some music videos with the same director that did most of our music videos. Is Julien Metternich. He's a famous director in France. He's doing most of the metal scene in France, and he made some of the music videos of the first album, but half was made by me. And for this time, it's all made by professional, and it's so great. And for the music, the recording of the music, we kind of did the same process of the first album, but we did it further. We did
Hmm.
it. We push for the first album, we went to the studio for 2 weeks, and for this new one, we went to the studio for 3 weeks, and we kept 1 week to listen to the demos and really dig into the sound, dig into the composition, and try to push the every title, every song further. What's the essence of the song, and try to rework every song with our producer, who is Bertrand from Chunk No Captain Chunk. And we took 1 week to rework every song with him, and
Yeah.
that's something we didn't do for the first album. For the first album, we changed things, but after the recording, and this time we changed a lot of songs before the recording. And for an example, like "We Will Be the Last" is a merge of two songs. It's
Oh,
a merge of two demos because we like the riff from one and the chorus from another one, and they matched. And we did one song with two. That the kind of thing we listen to one of the two songs and say, yeah, we have the chorus, but the rest is not at the same level of the chorus. So uh, yeah, let's try this with this, and it's kind of a patchwork. And we did we did this with all the songs.
hmm.
We came with like 20 songs, and we cut, and keep all the best. And when we started recording, we had the whole album ready and
Yeah.
just record.
So that extra week was considering it was a different thing to do this time around, the extra week
Hmm.
was invaluable, you would say.
Oh yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, because we have a way to compose that is the same way that we do our music video, the
Yeah.
urgence. So we always compose things, but when we say we want to do a new album, we compose like twice more. And we are in the urgence and we compose until I think that we composed the last song like 3 days before going to the studio. So, and the more you compose, the more you have creativity. So you have to have a final date because
Yeah.
it's never ending.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
So,
yeah. How do you get to that final debt? Like, is it a dead stop? Is it an insistence amongst all of you saying, right, this is us stopping right now. We have created this
mm.
much music. We've got enough to work with.
uh, the final date is the first date of the studio.
There it is.
We booked the studio and it's the final date. Yeah, we don't stop before if we have creativity, so let's use it. So we continue, and for for us, the idea was to have as much as songs as we can compose before the studio to have the
Hmm.
choice to pick best songs. It was the first time we did this too. And I think it's better too. It's better to have the choice. And the choice was really easy when you sit and you listen to every song. We were all agree, all agree
Yeah.
to what songs was better than another. It was like we debate for like one song, but it was really fast. It was really natural. It was a
Hmm.
natural choice, and after that, a natural choice to make the listing of the album, the set list. Everything was so natural. We wrote the songs on papers, and you have to see it. And we sorted it, and yeah, everything was natural. We took decision really fast because we are on the same energy
Yeah.
with the other guys on the band and with Bert. Everyone really understood what was the idea. Maybe because we told before. I don't know how we came to this.
Well, sometimes I guess it isn't. It doesn't need over analysis. You're locked in. You're connected at the moment, and
Hmm.
your creativity amongst as a group is sparkling. But we have to go back though. If we look, because we have got to go back to the sort of early days of composition, the early day of creating
Hmm.
music of this album. You say you all knew what you wanted to do, but what was the vision initially when you first started to write music for what might be this album? What was that vision?
Um, the vision musically it was to um, go more extreme on the both side of our music. That is, we are doing heavy stuff and really poppy stuff. You
Mm.
see, we have that range, and we wanted to go further in that range. So we told to ourselves, let's do angrier riffs and and don't um don't block ourselves to do more pop songs like Désolé. So the first thing was that let's destroy our boundaries and go further in everything we like.
Yeah.
So we tested a lot of things. And for the lyrics, we told I for the first time I worked a lot with Loïc for the lyrics.
Hmm.
For the first album, I worked alone, was all my lyrics, and the way I compose is Adrien. He's doing the riffs. He's composing most of the music. So he sent to me a song um, that is an instrumental, and I compose on that instrumental, my top line, my lyrics, and I only write mostly on the music. It's like the music is speaking to me, the topic
Mm.
and the lyrics I will write. And I wrote, and the way I work, I only write the chorus and the first verse. And I write the second verse like sometimes months later or weeks later. And for the first time, Loïc took some of the lyrics
Mm.
and put a second verse. So, and after we reworked every text together, and for this album, the first album was uh, more. I never really talked with I. It was always you, we, like talking to people, and yeah, or generally. And for this album, we said with Loic, let's talk with an I.
Mm.
Let's talk about what we feel because we understood that in the first album we talked about what we feel, but with a filter, you see, with a filter of the we, of the you. And
Yeah.
we wanted to be more intimate in
Mm.
this album. And that is funny because it's the same topics like the ecology, the end of the world,
Yep.
and the love. And but with the eye, it for me it's more intimate, and it's the first time we did it. And I think it it the texts were are more worked, are more intimate for this
Mm.
album. And it's funny because we worked two people and it's more intimate, so not really related, but yeah, it's the difference.
Yeah. But I mean, the difference between I and you is it's incredible. It really is
Yeah.
intimate. It's the right choice of word used there, intimate, because immediately it tells a person who's listening that you are talking about yourself. You're talking from a personal experience.
Mm,
You're not generalizing and speaking about what the general world might feel or you think they feel. This is what you specifically feel. That is a huge decision, though, because it means
mm.
effectively opening yourself up in a way that perhaps you've never done before in music. How comfortable did you get? How long did it take you to get comfortable? Excuse me. How long did it take you to get comfortable doing that? Changing the you and the we to the I.
Um, I it was not. I'm I'm comfortable with singing this,
Mm.
but it took time to starting again to write what really I have in mind.
Mm.
You see, um, because it's easy to say really what you have in mind when you say we have to, you have to.
Yeah.
But when we said let's go with the I, um, the text that came after that took a bit more time to be written, and
Mm.
I changed a lot of things, like saying, yeah, you don't really say what you have in mind there. You don't really say what you have in mind there. Let's change it and put really what you have and be more natural and be more intimate. And yeah, it took a little bit of time, but after that, when you are used to it, it's really much better because you feel more true. You feel more true. You feel more natural. I don't know really the word, but
Yeah.
Uh, and and I think that um, the listener will relate more to a text written with an I than a text written with a U, even if you speak to the people.
Even if you don't necessarily connect with the subject matter, the fact that you're
Yeah.
hearing you say I, and regardless of what my connection is, I know
Mm.
this is how you feel about it. It is a
Yeah,
completely different feeling.
yeah, of course, and as a personal experience of when I listen to other artists, I really prefer where they say I, and I really relate into it. I feel a connection when there is an I, and when there is a you. You project emotions on people, and it's not the same thing. Yeah.
Well, you can already see a response. Obviously, singles are out, and there's been a very positive response to them so far. People are excited for the album release. Seeing the response to the singles, does that ease your mind as to how you think the full record might be received?
The more we are close to the release date, the more uh, ah, it depends on the day. One day I say to myself, this is gonna be so cool and everybody will like it, and the other day I say, yeah, this is not enough, and it will go to the to the darkness of the music. So I don't really know. It depends on the day. I think it's.
Yeah.
I feel like every artist is like that. You have to be so confident with your work, and some days you are so yeah, we'll do this, and the other day, and it's and this is why it's cool to be in a band. It's because we are not always in the same mood in the same day. So you always have a friend to tell you, no, this is gonna be cool. So
Yep.
it's cool to be in the band for all this.
It's human nature, isn't it? To have those doubt days. But as I say, it's a reminder, the response online, the general chat, comment sections, and the feeling out there is a lot of excitement around, and it's not too long to wait. So it's going to be great that you can, at least once it's out there, and there's nothing more you can do. You can only enjoy the
Yeah.
response bit by bit by bit. Speaking of singles, though, considering the wealth of creativity that's on this album, the uniqueness that comes from every specific track, but also the storytelling that exists across the entire album run. How did you decide on what singles you were going to release? Was it a group decision where you kind of basically voted on one track, or was it always planned early on?
Um, like Drummer was decided as a single uh even before the recording. When it was a demo, we were sure it would be a single.
Right.
I think it's the only one that we said it's the single
Hmm.
before the recording, and after the recording, Désolé, we said it could be a really good single. We had some reserve about this song, and it was Bert and the whole crew for the recording that said, no, this song is a single.
All
So
right.
we trusted we trusted the crew, but we don't did we it was kind of natural. Bright Soul, we picked Bright Soul, and Bright Soul was sure after the recording, and Super Player too, and we had some discussion after that, because it's really difficult to pick be into your songs.
Hmm.
For me it's difficult. Every song is really cool, but I have to tell myself what song is more simple to understand at the first time, and it's something you have to, it's other consideration to pick a single. I feel. So is it for the radio, is it for Spotify? So
You've
I
got to
kind of
think of that
trust
stuff now.
yeah, I kind of trust the label for that, because they know this, they know how to do this, and every song is my song, so I can defend every song, so no problem.
Yeah, if you had your way, every song's a single.
Yeah, yeah, feel like that.
I mean, it is nice that it wasn't ultimately the decisions were made and it wasn't too complex. It wasn't a massive argument or debate that which
No.
song was going to be what, because ultimately creating music, creating an album, and the entire process can be incredibly challenging. So speaking of challenges, and look at the studio specifically. So you're in the studio. Where did you find yourself challenged in the studio from a personal perspective? Moments where it got a little tough for you, but you found a way to push through in perhaps in a way that you didn't expect.
Mm. Um, we have I feel like we have a particular way to record because as hearing the stories of the people who worked in the studio and other artists are working, they are widely recording at night. And
Mm.
for us, we are up early and we really work the day.
Right.
So I'm singing like for 10 a.m. to uh, 8 p.m. I will say. So we work that way, and for me, the most challenging every time is to sing and to
Mhm.
give the best emotion into the singing. It's
Yeah.
for me, it's the most important thing in a song. You have to give emotion into your voice, into your. You have to interpret the lyrics. You have to, yeah. So it take time. It take
Mm.
time to have the right pronunciation, to have the right emotion. And Désolé took more time because we we started to record it and it wasn't there. The chorus and even the first words of the song were not good.
Really.
There was not the right emotion. It was not good. So we kind of stopped there and we went to eat a burger in the city. It was the studio is like in a little city in the suburbs of Paris, and there is a little center with some restaurants. And we went to eat a burger and grab some beers and have a good time, the whole
Mhm.
team. And we came back. It was like 1 a.m. and I said, let's try for the first time recording at night. Let's try it to see because this song is different. Maybe we have to take a different way to record it.
Yep.
So I tried and I was I was full of burgers, really full of burgers and beers. I don't know why it was the perfect emotion at this moment. We went to low light in the studio. It was 1 a.m. and Désolé went great this time. And this is the only song that it was recorded by night.
That an incredible story. Do you think it was because you stopped thinking about it as much? Maybe because you went out and you relaxed a bit and you came back and it was well, we would say the word off the cuff, a momentary decision to just try this randomly. No
Mm,
expectations that it would even work, and it just did.
yeah. Yeah, I think it's exactly that because I was we had a plan, so what song we will record every day, and I was always thinking, what will I do for Désolé? And it was a song that I really, it's a song that is really related to me because I don't know if you saw, I told this on the internet, on Instagram, the story that I dreamed about the chorus, and so it's a song that is special for me. It's a really intimate song, so I I really wanting to challenge myself and do something really perfect. So maybe it's that I needed to forget that and say I when we went to the burger, I said to myself, "Oh, we will see this tomorrow morning." You see, so yeah, maybe I needed that and a couple of beers, maybe too. I don't know, but I had to forget what I was doing. Yeah.
Well, it is an incredible story, and it's a fun memory to look back on and think of for that particular period of time. Because, of course, you're moving forward. We're now just a mere few weeks away from the release of the album, and we want it to be incredibly successful. And following that, for you to be able to do so much, be out live touring, making more music, and so on. So, do you have a measure of success for this album? For Get Better, when you look at it, do you think this is what success would mean for this album?
For me, this it's when we are on stage and I see people singing the song with me. It's the best gift for me. It's where I want to go. It's what I want to see. It's what I want to hear. I want to sing the chorus with the crowd.
Yeah.
That's what I want to. So I want the crowd to sing drummer, to sing Désolé, to sing super player. I want this. That's what I want.
It's a fair ask, isn't it? A room full of people singing along with you. I can't see why. Considering how many anthemic tracks and moments there are on this album, I think it's a fair ask. And is that your thinking now? Just when we look towards the rest of the year, the rest of 2025, get out, play live, get this
Yeah.
music out there, people's ears. Simple as that.
Yeah, simple as that. Yeah, play as much as we can in front of as much people we can. Um, and we have a way to do a show. Actually, the people don't really know our songs, but we made them sing with us. We made them participate. So that's why that's our way of see live. It's to for me, live music is 50% the group, 50% the public.
Mm,
It's really important, and yeah, we want to play, and that's what really we like. We did the tour with Royal
of course.
Republic, and it was insane. It was insane. The public was so cool and really, they really liked our music. They really liked what we do. So it was so great. And maybe because Royal Republic is one of our, uh, it was one of the group we really like with
Mm,
Adrien, the bassist. He's like, it's like an influence for us. We really listen to Weekend Man album. So, um, it was so cool to do this, and maybe it's why the public really relates to our music because there is some Royal Republic in our music, I think. So yeah, it was so cool, and it was 2 weeks where we said to ourselves, yeah, we want it for ourselves, and we want it in bigger stage. We want to do massive crowds, and that's really
yeah.
what we want to be. We want to be a live band, and in front of the most massive crowds as we can.
And releases like
Releases
this
like
are
this
only
are
going to help matters. It's Get Better. It is out on April 11th, 2025 on Mascot Records. I can't wait to see the response to it. Overall, based off
Mm.
what I've seen already, it's going to be fabulous. And I cannot wait to see what the rest of the year holds for you. Max, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It does help us out. You can find us at gbhbl.com and across all social media platforms. And if you really want to give us a bit of extra support, please consider buying us a cup of coffee over on our coffee page. Thank you.